It says initializing.
Yeah.
Almost live. There we go. Okay, we live, Kim. I know we late, but we here as
It's
always.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? Let me see this because I do not understand. Um,
That quit for what?
I,
You
I
said?
had I had listen, I had it smaller and then it just popped up and by itself. It's like
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I know I'm adjusting it, but it's like I don't know why it does that. It'll just pop big soon as I go
Mhm.
live. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But it is what it is, you know.
Right, right,
So
right.
as we know, it's a new platform.
Yes.
So we got to deal with the nuances, right?
That's a new word. Nuances.
Is
Is
it?
that a word?
Yes. Ooh,
Okay.
Kim. You
Just
are
haven't heard
silly.
nuance,
Nuance, yeah. That's just
nuances.
the difference. The difference, right?
Okay.
So let's see here. I know we have to go and check and make sure we are live and
Everything.
everything is good. You know what I'm saying? So let's see here. Let's see. So
Mm,
I'm gonna go on Facebook real quick and see if everything is cool. Okay, I see it. Let me listen though, make sure it sound okay. Facebook real quick and see if everything is cool. All right. Okay, I see it. Let me listen though, make Talk sure to it me, sound Cal. Okay.
yep, you sound good.
I need to hear you sound good.
Oh, do I sound? How do I sound? Do I
Make sure
sound
it sound
good?
okay. Yep, you sound good. Yep, you sound
Oh,
good
there
too.
it goes.
All right. So again, I know that I'm actually in a hotel. So
Mhm.
the Wi-Fi, I don't know how great it is,
Uh-oh.
but it is what it is. Like I see
Right.
the Instagram feed,
Okay.
the connection was disconnected. Oh, you know what? That's hilarious because I forgot that when we do Instagram, I have to like put it in there, the
Mhm.
link for
Mhm.
it to go live on Instagram. But that's
Okay.
okay. That's
Okay.
okay. You know what I'm talking about, right? How I got to grab the link
Mhm.
and then put it into Instagram in order to go live. You know what I'm talking about, or
Oh.
you don't know?
No, I
You don't
don't.
know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay. Don't even worry about it
I was
then.
gonna roll
I
with
see.
you. I was just
All
rolling with it. Don't have a
right.
clue.
Right. I see we had Ebony had jumped on. Hey,
Hey,
Ebony. Thanks for
Ebony.
joining. Thanks for joining. I don't know. I think Ebony may have been on Facebook. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So let me see here. Let me see
Well,
here. I'm gonna just keep it streaming because I think that it was to where I could stop it on Instagram. I'm gonna just do it
mhm.
and see what happens. Okay, cool. It stopped it on Instagram. So we don't got to, I think taking that off is gonna give me more streaming power with the Wi-Fi. I see we got like 9 people that jumped on so far.
Okay.
Thank y'all for joining. So listen, this is quit for what live from Philly. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's gonna be different, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it.
Right.
Right, Kim? This
Right.
this this ain't our first rodeo,
No, it's not.
right? we done I
No, it's
forget where I
not.
was at. I forget where I was at when we did the show. Um was I in
Um,
Miami? I might have been. I think I was in Miami.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I
I
think I
think
was
that
in.
was
Yeah, yeah,
yep.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Mhm.
So this is what we gonna do. All right. So we gonna go ahead and start the show like we usually do.
Okay.
Okay. And I got some topics up here, and we just gonna talk through them. You know what I
All
mean?
right. All
All right,
right.
you ready, Kim? You
Let's
ready?
get it.
Let's get it. All right. What's up, people? Welcome to Quit for What. I'm your host, Ramon Jamal.
And I'm Kim B.
Kim B is in the building, y'all. Even though she's virtual, but she's still in the building, right, Kim B?
Yes.
Hey, listen. I know we don't got our background music and
I
everything, but
know. I kind of feel a little naked right
you feel
now. Like
it.
certain things are missing, just
It's
like
all good. Right, right, right. Hey,
this
but see, that's
couch.
yeah, yeah. But see, that's the thing though. Regardless of the different environment or whatever it may be, um, you commit to something,
Mhm.
still gotta make it happen. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So that's what we talk about here is being consistent regardless of any type of obstacles that you face, right?
Mhm.
Even now, being here in Philly, I was just at an event and I was like, yo, I got to do my show. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get a ride back to the hotel. So it took a little longer for us to get started, but we here. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Wow.
Kim, look at you.
What?
You sleepy? You
No.
sleepy? Just gonna start yawning. Listen, look,
I
look,
caught
look, look.
myself. I
Look,
caught it.
am I boring you?
No, it's not you. It's not you at all, and I do apologize about that. I
Oh,
caught it. I didn't go all the way with the
you ain't go all
yawn.
the way. I see it was a little.
Right.
It's all good. I see how you feel. I see how you
But
feel.
in my defense,
Hmm.
you know, I go through that whole with the menopause thing, a lot of it makes you
Hmm.
really tired. Um,
Okay.
so
Right,
it's
right, right.
not that I'm bored like you're boring or anything like that.
Yeah.
I've been doing this all day at work too, so
It's all good. It's all good. I'm just messing with you. I see we got some people on. I can't say the name, but I can say they said hi, and I'm gonna say hi back.
yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
what is it? Choop and Doop said hello. What's up?
Hey,
What's up?
Doop.
I see we got a hater in the chat too. I
I
love you.
do, I saw
You are-
that. I was like, "Oh,
I
he's
I just
not
opened it. I
happy."
didn't see. I didn't see.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, but it's all good. This is good. This is good. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank y'all for
Turn
watching.
that
Thank y'all for
frown into a smile.
turn that frown upside down. I know we good. I love you. All right. Okay. So Kim, okay,
Mhm,
so this is what we doing, okay?
mhm,
Um consistency while traveling, okay?
mhm.
I see someone is speaking a different language and I can't understand what it is, but that's okay. All right. Thank you for being
Yes,
here. All
thank you.
right. So this is consistency while traveling.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what we're gonna touch on. Like I said, I'm in Philly. This is my first time here. My experience has been cool. I've been enjoying myself. I'm on what you call a learning journey. Okay.
Okay.
So you think about being on a journey, right? So you gotta go somewhere, you gotta explore, right?
Mhm,
And along the way, you want to try to learn as much as you can, right?
mhm, mhm,
Learning from the people, learning from the environment, just anything that you can pick up when you're
mhm.
out and about is good,
Yeah,
because you can implement that, right?
yep.
So we're going to go ahead and get into the conversation of it. All right.
Okay.
So the first point is commit to a routine. Okay. So, like we said, committing to a routine, just basically is what consistency is. You know what I'm saying? So, commit to a routine. The example is it says use tools like Google Calendar or Notion to stick to your podcasting schedule, even in new environments. Right? So,
Mhm.
yeah, we said podcasting schedule, but it could be anything. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It
Mhm.
could be your exercising routine.
Yep.
You try your best to stick to your eating habits when you're out and about, but sometimes, what I'm saying, uh, you might have to partake of things that you usually don't, but
Right.
do your best to do that. So,
Mhm.
can you think of any other like routines that a person may want to stick to when they are not in their home location, right? Because the
Mhm.
environment changes,
Mhm.
right? So
Yeah.
can you think of anything uh, that people have possibly a difficult time sticking to when they're in a new location?
The only thing I can think of is communication.
Hmm.
Just because you're in a different location, especially with your business, I mean, that's not really the opportunity to just say, "Okay, I'm on a vacation." It's, or not necessarily a vacation, but, like, you know how you're on a trip,
Yeah, yeah,
and still when you have that, if you've already have, however your business is set up, maybe, um you just have to find your way to work around certain things just to make sure you stay on top of things. And I
right,
know sometimes it's easier said than done, um, in certain
right.
situations. But like how we're, you're going live from Philly, I'm back home, you know. anything is possible. It just
Right.
really is the determination on us. So I just
Yeah.
think communication is definitely one of them, especially when you're working with other people. You know,
Right.
you want to make sure you stay consistent with that communication, or even with your customers, or if you're big on social media,
Hmm.
still you still have an obligation, if people are there asking questions and there's nobody there to answer questions, it's just going to make it that much, a little bit more difficult and challenging in the future. So it's just, if you're already doing it, keep it going.
Right,
Don't
right,
stop.
right, right. That's it. That's it. So yeah, I think the next point is kind of, just thinking about, um, I'm thinking about the fact that you talk about communication, right?
Mhm,
So again, and I like how you reworded that. So
mhm.
yeah, if you're on vacation, you need to, log off, and let people know, like, listen, I'm on vacation. But a quick trip or whatever it is, and you still have to, run your business or
Mhm,
whatever, you have to prepare for that, right?
yeah.
So you can be consistent in that,
Mhm.
right? So
Right.
to speak to your point, right?
And
So,
even
mhm.
Mhm.
No, go
No, I
ahead,
was
go ahead.
gonna say, even if you are going on vacation, you need to make sure everything is squared away. So if you
Right.
do have clients or customers, you got somebody to either stand in place for you, or you're rescheduling, letting them know. Because even if you come off a vacation and you let's say you didn't call your customer to tell them you went on vacation, you think they're gonna want to come back? No. They didn't they hadn't heard from you in over a week or 2, maybe 3, depending on how long your vacation is. So it's
Yeah.
always important to just kinda, keep that level of communication on, or if you're getting emails, make sure you set up, those quick
Right.
responses, like
Yeah,
those,
yeah, yeah.
you
Automatic, the auto
automatic
response.
response. Yeah, auto
Yeah.
reply, "Hey, I'm on vacation, but if it's an
Right.
emergency, reach out to so and so." You know what I'm saying? So, it's
Yeah.
always good to have that so people know that you're still relevant, you're still here, but you taking time out for yourself.
Right, right, right. So even right now, I'm just sitting here thinking about the fact that we just jumped on here, we went live,
Mhm,
and I didn't, actually set up everything properly,
mhm,
but we're still doing it, right? So I just started thinking about, like, I wonder what the title. It might be the title from the last time we was
mhm,
live or
mhm,
whatever in the description, but we
right.
still doing it. We still doing it. So
And the
just
other
keeping it.
thing
Mhm.
is, you actually did that since you've been on your trip, as far as, like, communicating.
Yeah,
We took the time out the day before to make sure everything was working right,
yeah,
and then again, we just do a quick little run through just to make sure everything is okay, and then you also called me to tell me, "Hey, I'm gonna be running a little late because
uh-huh.
because of work." But that's the communication I'm talking about,
Right.
that keeps people, continuously engaged.
Right, 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 right. Yeah.
Mhm.
So the next point here is pack essential gear. Okay. So packing essential gear says keep portable equipment like a USB mic, headphones, and a
Mhm,
laptop so you're ready anywhere. Right.
mhm,
So even this stuff right here that I just mentioned is not just for podcasting. Right.
mhm,
So if you like you said are running some type of business, you got to make sure that you got everything you need, to be able to still be consistent and be successful in running
right,
that business, right? So if it's your laptop, or if you if you got to jump on certain calls and you want the audio to be a certain way, you might need to bring
mhm,
a mic that speaks to that.
right,
You know,
right,
but just know the things that you want to do while you're away to keep your business going, and
mhm,
just really try to make sure that you actually pack those things right.
yeah,
Again, this is speaking to podcasting because this is something that we're doing, but these
mm,
things can be implemented you know, across any type of business,
mhm,
right?
right, right,
So yeah, because I took some time, like over some days, like what can I bring,
mhm,
um, to make sure that we can do this, right?
yeah.
Um, so I got this is actually a microphone right here.
Oh, the lapel mic?
Uh-huh. Yep. And then I got the headphones here, and I see you got your headpiece on. You know what I mean?
Yep,
So, and we using what we got, right? I
right,
brought a light. I got the light up here and everything.
yep,
So, just think about the things that you need to continue to do the things
Mhm.
that you want to do, right?
Mhm.
Having quit for what? We got to keep it going regardless.
Right, right. Well, I like what you said, and that's such a big thing, but not just in your business. If you're
Mhm.
consistent with it, it should be consistent through every aspect of your life, and that is preparation,
Yep.
being prepared. And I know you, I've seen you do it. Like you will have a shoot 2 days and you be on the first day, the 2 days prior to the shoot, like, "Okay, I gotta make sure I got this. Okay." You know what I'm saying? You set
Right.
up, make sure everything's working right, and that's how it should be. This is how we should be. Same thing like you mentioned before. Make sure you got everything in order, got your clothes, got your
Mhm.
what you gonna wear and, or if you have to take your equipment with you, make sure you got your laptop, like you said, your battery pack, whatever it is you need. But if you
Yeah.
plan it ahead of time and you do it ahead of time, you ain't got to worry about forgetting anything because you've already
Right.
gotten it
That's
squared
it.
away.
That's it. Shoot, you made me think about cables. That's what I'm saying. You mess around like,
Yes.
oh, I ain't got this cable I needed to, what I'm
Yes.
saying, to do this, or to keep your equipment charged up or whatever you need. But again, this is, we're on here talking about, if you're doing podcasting from a remote place or whatever. But again, these things can apply to anything that you do. Just being prepared, planning ahead of time, to make it happen. Right.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So the next one is, again, is speaking of podcasting,
Okay.
find quiet spaces. Right.
Mhm.
The example is recording it in places like co-working spaces, libraries, or your hotel room to
Mhm.
avoid background noise. Right. So
Right.
where am I at? you know I'm in my hotel room, right?
Right.
But again, even if it's, to take care of business calls, Zoom meetings, whatever it is,
Mhm.
you got to think about, okay, I'm about to be here, where can I go again that's quiet, right?
Mhm.
Because you don't want to be trying to handle business. It's a whole bunch of chatter behind you.
Right. Right.
Being on a call, it's a whole bunch of chatter behind you
Mhm.
or whatever. Um, and me being here and talking to people and letting them know, hey, I do a podcast every Tuesday from 8 to 9. They're like, oh, you gotta do it tonight. I'm like, yeah. It's like somebody said you should do it in the lobby. I'm like, nah, I can't do it in the lobby. You know, because that would have been, a whole bunch of people behind us talking and
Right.
you
Right.
know,
Hardly
um,
can't hear anything.
right, interruptions and stuff. So again, just that's another part of planning.
Mhm.
Um, we talk about again, just being consistent in any space. If you work out, right, you're
Mhm.
like, okay, I gotta make sure either the hotel that I'm about to rent has a gym,
Right. Right. Yep.
or there's a gym nearby.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I remember my cousin came into town, and I know he didn't stay at a hotel. He stayed with my uncle. But
Mhm.
I met up with him. He was like, "Yeah, I went to the gym this morning," and da da da. I'm like, "Okay, that's what's up." So I was like, "How did you, how was you able to go to the gym?" So certain gyms have facilities all over,
Yeah.
the U.S. in certain areas, and if you have a membership, you can still frequent that gym. But the fact that he prepared for that,
Mhm.
and he was all the way from Kentucky,
Mhm.
in Ohio, and still kept his routine and still went to the gym. It wasn't an excuse like, oh,
Right.
I'm
He
not.
did. Yep.
Mhm.
He didn't allow, just because he went out of town, like, "Oh, I could take a break."
Right.
But to be
Right.
honest, when you consistent, the more consistent you are, it just becomes second nature.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. So you got to build that up, right?
Mhm.
Got to build it up. Okay. So the next point here is set time blocks. Okay. So again, this is speaking of podcasting. Block time. This is saying block time daily to handle podcast related work or just work in general, even
Mhm.
while exploring. This keeps your rhythm intact, right? So that really spoke to what you just said
Right.
about continuing to do that. it
Mhm.
it builds up that routine
Yep.
and keeps you consistent. All right.
Mhm.
So I see we got Helena in the
Hey,
building. Right.
Nina.
Lena just said planning. I have realized that planning
Yeah.
allows me to have peace of mind.
Yes, yeah, she is so
Wow.
right, yes. If you
Yeah.
think about it, if you have, like, teachers, they well, she's a teacher,
Right.
uh, so if you plan ahead of time, you're not stressed out about your curriculum or what you have to teach. The same thing if you do
Yeah.
it at home and in your business or your job or, whatever the case may be, if you're planning properly, that will
Yeah.
eliminate a lot of stress.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and I like that. She said peace of mind
Yeah,
because like I said, me packing and planning to still go live. Um, I actually, like you said, I always be checking my stuff over and over again.
right.
I'm one of those weirdos that like, when I get out my truck, I got to look at my key to make sure it's in my hand, right?
Mhm.
So I got to look at my stuff and physically like lay my stuff out and know that I
Right.
have it with me. So that's how I prepare.
Mhm.
Preparing and it gives you peace of mind, right?
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
got LaRonda in the building.
Hey,
LaRonda said,
LaRonda.
yeah, LaRonda said it also takes dedication,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, you gotta be dedicated to whatever it is. And I know we talked about this before too. When we speak to it a lot, as far as having passion for something, right?
Mhm.
I think having passion for it makes it easier to be dedicated to it.
Yes,
You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah. But just
you're absolutely right.
yeah, just make it list and check it twice. You know
Yes,
what I'm
and
saying?
it's always good to have a checklist.
Hmm.
Maybe a travel checklist or maybe, okay, I'm taking my business on the road. Let
Yeah.
me create a list of things that I know I'm gonna need and then prepare for that the day before or a couple
Hmm.
days before, and then you don't have to worry about forgetting anything or not being prepared.
Right, right. And this is again, this part was talking about like time blocks and setting
Mhm.
time aside. So I would even say think about, preparing. You still need to
Yes,
set
yep,
time aside
you
to
do. You do.
prepare. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Um, yeah. So yeah, it all works hand in hand,
Yes.
right? Okay. Okay. So the next point here it says turn downtime into productive time. Okay.
Mhm. Oh,
So think
yeah,
about
that's
that.
that's a
That's
good
right.
one too, yeah.
Yeah, especially if you have a goal that you're trying to achieve, right? So turn downtime into productive time. And it says use travel time to outline this. Speaking of podcasts, travel time to outline episodes, draft notes, or brainstorm new content ideas,
Mhm.
right? So again, this can apply to any type of business or project that you're trying to implement, right?
Mhm.
Um, because what do we normally do in our downtime? Do we ever,
Scrolling.
right? Do we ever think about like, man, I could have been doing such and
Yeah,
such. I just sat here all this time.
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
And I be mad at
Uh,
myself because I done
right.
wasted. Because 'cause I'm a morning person, so I
Hmm.
like to do everything in the morning.
Uh
But I
huh.
be mad because I done laid there, I be seeing the clock, "Okay, it's 9 o'clock. You need to get up."
Uh huh.
I'm still scrolling.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock. You need to get up. So before
That's
you know
it.
it, your whole day is gone.
Right. It's wild because we think about that, but we have to really like,
Mhm.
like s- stop ourselves from like, okay, I went all this time on this device and I'm mad at myself.
Mm,
Okay, now next time I'm not gonna let this happen, right? And
right.
we gotta make a point to check ourselves. Like even like what if we just set a timer, right? Like
Yeah.
do whatever you gotta do to stop yourself at a certain time
It's
to
funny you
where
said that because
mm,
I was watching a video. I watch a lot of journey type of videos. And this one girl, she was literally talking about that unused time that we have.
yeah,
Basically, if you got to cook dinner at 6, but you get home at 4, so you still got almost 2 hours before you cook dinner. So
yeah,
you could be doing a lot in between there. So give yourself enough time to reset, She was like,
Hmm.
give it 30 minutes. And then so she showed her life in a day of what she does. So just to make sure she's committed, she keeps a timer. And on that timer, she will, okay, so I'm gonna block this off to plan my day. And so I'm
Right.
gonna block this off to get my clothes out. I'm gonna
Yeah.
block this off and take my bath, my shower, whatever I gotta do. But it worked. It
Right.
worked.
That's
So
it.
yeah.
That's
I
it. So we got Choop and Doop said it's hard to have the ambition to be productive when my downtime could be used on easier tasks that don't necessarily serve me.
Mhm.
Right. So yeah, so we think about these things, right? That don't necessarily serve us, like
Mhm.
we said, like just continuing to scroll on
Yeah.
social media,
Yeah.
right? Or whatever it is. And this is really especially if you're trying to build something, right? Or you're trying to learn something, or improve yourself in any kind of way. You have to make time for it. So having the ambition, I think, again, like I spoke to about having a passion for something, right? So
Mhm.
Choop and Doop, it's like, think about, what are your passions? What are you passionate about? Right. So and if it's something that could serve you, right? Something that could get you in a better space, mentally, physically, financially, whatever it might be. It's all about like leveling up, right? So find something that you're passionate about, and I feel like that will help you,
Mhm.
again, to be dedicated to that thing or consistent with that thing, because you found a passion for it, or you have a passion for it.
Right. And I would even say too, if it's something that's kind of, because some people struggle. I know I did. Like when you
Mhm.
called me earlier today, I didn't have the TV on, but when you
Uh-huh.
did call me, I
Oh
purposely
no.
didn't turn the TV on after I got home,
Uh-huh.
but I was in my phone and I didn't realize until you called me, like, you ain't supposed to be on this phone. But, because I'm trying to cut back on the TV and not making that the
Yeah.
first thing I do when I get home, but
Right.
then when you call me, I'm scrolling, like, I don't have anything to do, and that's not what
Right.
I'm trying to do, but sometimes it's kinda like easing back off of certain things one by one. If it means you take your time, "Okay, so today I'm not gonna turn the TV on, maybe I'll watch only an hour." Like you
Right.
said, set a timer. Once that timer goes off, boom, you did what you said you was gonna do,
Right.
and try it again tomorrow. But you just do it in a way that is building, or maybe add something else to it, that gets you to focus on those goals that you're trying to accomplish.
Right. That's it. That's it. So Lena said here, she was saying right to what we're saying. She said it takes self-discipline to say, okay, uh, I can start working on this. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Um, so it does. It takes discipline to
And that and
really.
you
Okay.
definitely have to make your mind up. Like,
Right.
it's not, and Imma be honest, just my own personal growth, I
Mhm.
had to you have to make up in your mind that this is what you wanna do. And then
Yeah.
sometimes it helps, maybe find something that gives you motivation, and that could be, if you're looking to do podcasts, then you should be watching, if you're gonna be on YouTube, you should be watching podcasts on YouTube,
Yeah.
paying attention to what they're talking about, like how they opened up how we open up
The
for
show.
the show,
Yeah.
maybe those are things that you wanna pay attention to, while you're doing something else, but you're still listening to the podcast. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So you could still be, you could kill two birds with one stone doing that, but at the same time, you wanna try to pay attention because this is your passion, right? This is what you wanna do. So
Hmm.
that will help motivate you as well. I know me, when I want motivation, I start putting things in front of me that I know that I'm passionate about or I wanna get into, so I start putting those things in front of me, and that's gonna continue to keep pushing me, like,
Right.
"Hey, okay, bet, okay, I'm about to do it, I'm about to do this."
That's it.
They're doing it, I know I can do it,
You can
so
do it.
it's
That's
just
it.
you just have to do it. It's that's all it is, just
Yeah. Make
do it.
make it happen. And like you said, just speaking to, again, wanting to do podcasting, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, listening to podcasts, seeing how they operate, and what they do within their podcast. But also, you can get on YouTube, as we say, YouTube University, and learn the different equipment that you need, right?
Yep.
So you're watching something that, or listening to something that
Mhm.
can be beneficial, that can help you get to the next level, and sometimes can be entertaining as
Mhm.
well, depending on
I
who
do.
you watch or listen to.
I listen to podcasts while I'm at work.
Uh-huh.
I put one ear pod in and I'm
Doing your
typing
way.
away. You know what I'm saying? Because I can still I may not hear everything, but if
Yeah.
you listen to something long enough, you'll begin to hear and absorb it. And before you know
Right.
it, it's like, dang, now I know the show like the back of my hand. But you get into that you could become, you know,
Yeah.
consistent and pull out stuff that you may have not pulled out before, or you know.
Right, right, right. Cool, cool. Well, listen, this is a next segment, okay?
Mhm.
And that is learning from new spaces and people,
Okay.
okay? Again, I'm in Philly and I'm here for a learning journey. And, I'm around like, I don't know how many people are here. Um, I would say it might be close to 100 or so, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And just being around them, learning from them, just, by way of conversation. And just being in different spaces, right?
Mhm.
It's a lot that you can learn, you can pick up
Yeah.
on, right? Seeing things like the design of things, how things are placed within a space. Like there's things that you can pick up and you can learn from, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be verbal all
Right.
the time, right? It could be visual that you just happen to see something. So you can learn
Right.
from spaces and from people, right? All right. So this first point on that is engage with local communities, right? Um, and this is local to whatever area that you're in. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it says attend local events or meetups in the city and interview people for fresh insights. Right now, that's a good one. This right here just gave me something that I can really do, right?
Yeah.
um just really talking to other people that may be working in the same field as you or pursuing the
Mhm.
same passions as you. Like you got to talk to the people to
Yeah.
learn if you have the same interests, right?
Yeah.
What's happening, Faye? Is it Faison? How you doing? I think that's, maybe I said it right. But yeah, you gotta just get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Even going to a different location, meeting new people, being in new spaces is getting out of your comfort zone, right? If you're not
Yeah.
used to traveling and stuff like that.
They
So
say you
yeah,
gotta get uncomfortable.
right.
If you're
You
looking
have
to be
to.
successful, you have to make yourself uncomfortable. And I like that, what you were saying, go somewhere different that you've never been before. And
Mhm.
you'd be surprised the amount of people you start talking to.
Yeah, yeah.
And how you just begin to network, and you just be like, "Man, I didn't think I was going." Before you know it, you probably got cards from everybody in the room.
Right, 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 right. So yeah, so you just got to get out there, and speak. You got to talk to people. That's it, right? So okay, all right. The next point is be curious about local culture. Okay,
Mhm,
so example is ask locals about their challenges and lessons, which can inspire new content.
mhm,
Okay. So again, speaking of podcasting, um, you know, uh, you know, talk to the people in that area, right?
mhm,
Learn about the things that they do to even engage people in their local area, right?
mhm.
How to get people involved in things, right? So
Right.
if it's a business that you're doing, you might be able to take some pieces, some nuggets from something that they said that sparked something in you that you can implement in your business or your
Right.
podcast or whatever
Right.
it may be when you get back home, you
Right,
know?
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, just the podcasting, the networking, there's tons of ways to be able to talk to people in your field. You just have to be willing to
Hmm.
do a little bit of research just to do it. And even if
Yeah.
you're, oh, here's another thing. If you're going out of town, take yourself out on a night. Maybe go find some place that maybe they're doing a podcast, or maybe there's always something going on in somebody's community. I
Yeah.
know my brother, when I used to go to Maryland, he's always like, get on Yelp. And a couple other things. There's another one where they have like entertainment, but I'm not saying like go out, what I'm saying is there's different things going on in the community
Right,
that you can go to. I know I was trying to hit up a couple of what do you call it? Pop-up shops. You
right.
can look up pop-up shops and guarantee you're gonna find somebody probably interested in the same thing that you are.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It can be anywhere.
Yep. And getting ideas from
Yeah.
from those people, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying, and whatnot. So yeah, so get out your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to speak to people, especially if you all are like in a curated space, right? So it's like we all are here for the same thing, right?
Mhm.
Again, I'm on a learning journey. So everybody that's here is part of the learning journey, right? So that's what we're
Mhm.
here to do. We're here to learn, from the spaces and
Mhm.
from each other. So um, don't be afraid to talk to people and learn more about what they're into. Again, that could possibly spark something in you. Okay. All right. So oh oh
Sorry.
you all right? Okay. So
Sorry.
you're good. The next point is build new connections.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So this says network with people you meet to build relationships that can lead to future collaborations.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a true thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. So check this out. There's a guy named Ricky, right?
Mhm.
Who lives here in this area, and um, we both have studio spaces, right?
Mhm.
And he just told me that he has a studio space that he manages here, but he also has another studio space that he is a member of, right? So he pays monthly to be a part of this other studio space, right?
Okay.
So that sparked something to me. I'm like, okay, cool, because I'm looking to buy a building for my
Right.
for my next studio, and
Mhm.
I'm like memberships, right?
Yeah.
Like sell memberships to
Mhm.
where people can utilize the space on a schedule.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they'll have that space available to them on a monthly basis by being a member,
Right,
right?
right.
So me talking to him gave me an idea that I can now implement
Right.
once I get my building. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah. But actually, tomorrow morning I got to make sure I set my clock because we're supposed to get up and take a trip to his studio so I can check his
Oh,
space out. Yeah.
okay.
So,
That's
but
gonna
that's
be cool.
yeah, that's just me having a conversation with
Yeah.
somebody. You know. Um. So yeah, it's going to be a cool experience for me. Right.
Okay. Well, you're doing some networking down there. You might as well go ahead and, see what they're talking about.
Oh yeah. Oh
Get the
yeah.
Philly experience.
And again, who knows, right? That could turn into something that we collaborate on, even though we're not
Absolutely.
local. But the way things are nowadays, we could probably come up with
Mhm.
something. Another crazy thing about it is he was like, "Man, you could have did the show from my studio. That would have been cool, right?"
Yeah.
So listen, it's like, okay, now I made that connection. Next time I'm in Philly, if I need to do
Yeah.
the show, guess what? I'm gonna hit up Ricky. Be like, "Hey, man,
Right.
I need your space so we can do this." You know.
Right, right. That would have been nice.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But the connection is made, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's it. That's it. All right. So the next point is explore new creative spaces. Wow. I didn't even know that was gonna be the next point. Explore new creative spaces. Okay. It says example, record in new settings to spark fresh ideas and perspectives.
Mhm.
Right. So um I think that could be cool. Just any different space that you record in, there's going to be different, um, like I said earlier, nuances, different
Mhm.
things that you have to adjust to, right? So even right now, right, we got the different type of lighting, and I got the lights are off in here, but I got those lights behind me over here.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the look of it is like, oh, that's kind of all right,
Mhm.
maybe like, okay, well, I'm gonna take this now and I'm gonna, implement this in my studio space and have some what they call practical lighting behind me. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Right,
Um,
right, right.
Listen, also, we usually have music on the show. Guess what? We ain't got no music today because I'm not at my studio,
No
right?
music.
But guess what? We could have been like, you know what? That was all right to not have music.
Right. I think we
Maybe
had that before. We didn't have
we,
music before.
right, 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 right. But
We
this is
didn't
just
have
saying, like, different spaces that you do, whatever the work is that you do, it's going to bring its different challenges,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Or different things that are beneficial.
Mhm.
Okay, so I think use everything as inspiration
Yeah,
to get better.
right.
Just see something that you can, you dig what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like don't be mad about it or sad about it. Use it as a example of what you could
Mhm.
implement, and
Right.
it could be whatever you do. You know, so
Mhm.
you got anything to speak to on that, Kim?
No, I completely agree. I agree, wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I remember earlier today I was watching another, video, and I
Hmm.
realized that the young lady was in a different space.
Yeah.
She's in her house, but she picks different locations. It don't always have to be the same
Right.
location,
Yeah.
so she switches it up. So I was like, "Yeah, that's a good idea." Sometimes you
Yeah.
get tired of sitting in that one spot. You need to maybe come out where there's more space and you don't feel so closed in. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It could be anything, and um, yeah, you just gotta find the gems, right?
Yeah.
Find the gems within whatever it is, right?
Right, right, you're right.
Okay, so the next point here, it says seek out stories. Okay, seek out stories,
Mhm,
um, and it speaks to every place has a unique story.
mhm,
Use it as content that resonates with your audience and reinforces your theme. Okay, so again, this is speaking to podcasting, and I think that for doing this, it is good to seek out stories. We
mhm,
do quit for what, right?
mhm,
So just hearing about different challenges that people have gone through with
mhm.
trying to build something. Those are
Right,
stories that fit our brand and what
mhm,
we're doing, you
right,
know. Um, so you hear those stories either by the speaker that might be giving the presentation in that location, right?
right.
So you could pick up on those stories, right?
Mhm,
Or like we said, even through conversations, you know what I mean? Um, and this again is speaking to podcasting, but you can still use it in other fields.
right.
You know, hey, it made me think about, say if you are a chef or you own a restaurant. Okay,
Mhm,
so one of the things that since I've been here, people been talking about the cheesesteak, right?
mhm.
And
Yeah.
what's a real cheesesteak? And it ain't a real cheesesteak if you got this or that on it.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
if you go over here and you don't actually order inside and order through the kiosk, they might not put everything on it that you
Right,
want.
right.
Like, so it's just you hear these different things, and it's like, okay, man, so I own a restaurant or I'm looking to start something and I want to have cheesesteaks. Okay, well, I just heard from the people in Philly that
Right.
if it got this on it, that ain't it. So okay, I need to
Right.
see,
That's
you
not
know
the
what I'm saying?
business.
Right, right, right. So using what you hear from other people, and picking something from
Mhm.
that can be beneficial to you, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I you know what? And that's funny you said that because I know usually when we have guests, you
yeah,
will dive into a story, like
uh-huh,
how did they come about, like what drove them to this. And I was thinking about that, and I looked at that show with Shaquille O'Neal's mom and Steph
okay,
Curry's mom, and
right,
how they were asking questions to the people they were interviewing. And Shaquille's mom, she would always dive into the reason why, or how did you, like, what drove you, like where did it all start. And it made me
Uh-huh.
think about the questions that you asked some of the guests. And
Uh-huh.
again, you're looking for that story. Where did this all start? So that it goes so far back, it starts with the parents.
Right.
From the parents to the child, like that whole transition. So
Hmm.
yeah, looking for that story, or when you're talking to people, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and you could learn from that. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Yeah,
absolutely. Always a takeaway
that's
from
it.
that.
So we got LaRonda here. LaRonda said it takes blood, sweat, and tears. Right. So listen, that right there, we are learning from LaRonda that
Mhm.
it takes blood, sweat, and tears. And by her saying that and knowing that, that means that she has experienced,
Yeah.
right, pursuing something,
Mhm.
um, and letting us know, yes, it takes blood, sweat, and tears
Mhm.
to get through it, right?
Yeah.
So we do need to again keep our ears open and really absorb what we hear from people,
Right.
right? Especially if it's something that's beneficial, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah. Okay, so now we're on to the next segment, Kim.
All right.
And all right, this next one is something that we spoke to.
Okay.
Put and it's pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Okay,
Mhm.
that's it. Pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And the first point on that is embrace discomfort.
Right.
Now let's think about that. Embrace discomfort,
Mhm.
right? So the example on that is again podcasting that we're speaking to. Doing a live podcast from a new city might feel challenging, but it builds confidence.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah. So,
I think you're stuck. And this is the technical difficulties we were talking about.
right.
It happens.
Right. And it's so crazy because when you said that on my end, you froze for a
Oh,
second.
it
Right. And that was kind of fitting, right?
did? Yes.
Um, that's what I was about to say. We don't know what this Wi-Fi is
Mm,
gonna be like, right? Um,
right.
and again, like I spoke to earlier, we don't have our theme music, right? We don't got our backtrack,
Right,
and
right.
and we're still able to flow. We're
Yeah.
still able to have this conversation. You know
Mhm,
what I mean? So this right here should build confidence in
mhm.
knowing that we don't absolutely have to have a backtrack. We don't
Right.
absolutely have to have the best lighting or the best microphones.
Mhm.
None of that. The best cameras. We both using webcams right now,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So I really think that this piece right here, especially for podcasters or anybody that's trying to do anything with video, you don't have to have the
Yeah.
top notch equipment to do the thing. So yeah, it should build confidence in knowing that you can still pull it off wherever you're at,
Oh, yeah,
regardless
absolutely.
of what business you're doing.
Mhm.
You know. Yeah.
Yep. And I think that we just exemplified that today, being
Hmm.
able to go from wherever we're at, and it should give you a sense of consistency as well as dedication. I'm dedicated to this thing. It
Right.
doesn't matter where I'm at. I could be in a hole in the wall, but I bet you I find a corner
To
and
make
go
it happen.
live, right, and make it happen. So, I
Right.
mean, it just is again, at the end of the day, it really to me, and this is my personal opinion, it depends on how passionate you are, because your passion is going to drive you to want to do it, even
Yeah.
if you're sitting those, like we mentioned before, sitting that stuff in front of your face that will help drive you to that. Just like I'll give you another example, me doing the YouTube channel.
Right.
It took me forever, along with a whole bunch of, but if I didn't put that stuff in front of me, those videos and watching everybody do it, it helped me get the confidence. And then you
Hmm.
shared your video with me, and that was it. That was
Yeah.
it for me. Like, I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it now. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
continue to keep waiting. So, but I wanted it. I felt it. It was like, you know how you could feel something like, ah, I could taste it.
You silly.
You know what I'm saying? But you can feel it, like, you get anxious, you get that little
Yeah,
anxiety because 'cause you're just like, "I gotta do this, I wanna do this so bad." And when you finally do it, you feel good about it, like, "Why did I wait so long?" And that's the
that's
other
it.
thing too. You done waited so long to try to do something, when you finally do it, you're gonna be mad at yourself because you waited so long.
That's it. That
Just
is
do
it.
it.
Just do it. Just do it. Yes, yes. All right, y'all. So the next point is say yes to opportunities.
Mhm.
Okay. This says take on new experiences you wouldn't normally consider. Okay.
Okay.
Like open mic nights or speaking engagements.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, yeah. I would say that if you think about, that being an opportunity, all right,
Mhm.
especially if you have a business or you're pursuing a passion, right?
Mhm.
Open mics, okay,
Yeah.
um, that's an opportunity to get in front of people and
Yeah.
speak, even if it's like, hey, say you haven't really implemented the thing yet, right? So say you like, okay, it's open mic. I haven't started this thing, but what if I got in front of these people and I said, you know what, I have this idea to do this, that, or the other,
Mhm.
and I think that I want to go about it this way,
Mhm.
right? And this is what it is, okay? Um, you have an audience of individuals that might be able to assist you in whatever it is, right? Somebody might pull you to the side when you get off the stage or whatever and say, hey, you know what? I really like the idea and what you want to do. I happen to already be doing that thing, and I can teach you, how to move through this without having as many obstacles as I had.
Right.
Right. So that was an opportunity to get in front of some people to speak about the thing that you want to do and maybe get some assistance or learn something from somebody who's already implemented that thing.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if you already are established, now you can get in front of people and promote
Mhm.
the thing. You know what I'm saying? So not being afraid to do that. And another reason, why I laughed after I read it is because it says speaking engagements, and
Mhm.
all of this stuff is something that I find difficult to do in front of audiences, in front of crowds of
Mhm.
people, but I can do it here. So
Right.
I have to get over that.
Sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Ooh, girl.
had an itch. Sorry.
Hey, look, and it froze right there where you
Right?
was.
My ears itching.
Goodness gracious, Kim.
Sorry.
That is hilarious. But anyway, again, that's something that I gotta get over that. I gotta figure out a way to really get over that. But I think that if it's something that you're passionate about, it'll make it a little easier
Mhm.
preparing for the opportunity, right? So be prepared for the opportunity, so you can say yes to it, you
Mhm.
know. And then sometimes you might not be 100% prepared, but say yes because you never know.
You never know. You're right.
Yeah,
You never know. I mean, those speaking engagements can lead to something else. It could be you might say 4 sentences and then they want you to come back. You just never know. You don't know. You won't know until you try,
that's it.
you
That's it.
know?
Yeah. Build up the courage and the confidence just to try it, try the thing. You
Mhm.
don't want to regret that you didn't.
Right.
You
No
know,
room for regrets.
no regrets, no regrets. All right. So the next point here, again, speaking of podcasting, says try new formats. Okay,
Mhm.
experiment with new podcast formats like guest interviews or live Q&A sessions to keep things fresh.
Mhm.
Okay. So I do know that, we do our guests in the studio. We haven't had a guest in the studio for some time, but we do that. Right. But we never thought about, like live Q&A sessions, like a panel. I think we kind of like touched on it a little bit,
Yeah, I do
but
remember us talking about it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But that would be something cool. Right.
Yeah.
maybe we can look to implement that like next year sometime,
Mhm.
because planning for it and everything.
Yeah.
But to apply this to a different business or whatever it is,
Mhm.
try new things,
Yeah.
right?
Ye
You may have been doing something one way, but just try it out, test it out to see if it can work for you or it's
yeah.
beneficial,
Yeah.
right? That made me think about here in Philly on this learning journey. We went to this park, okay, and they were talking about putting a playground in a certain area in this big park, right?
Mhm.
So they're like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to do a pop up like playground.
Mhm.
Okay. So they did a pop up playground like in a different area that was more accessible to people. Right. So
Mhm.
say you got a neighborhood across the street, but you want to put a playground like way far into the park. But it's like, okay, no, let's start off by putting like a pop up playground that's closer to the houses. And if the people are frequenting the pop up playground that they can easily access,
Mhm.
then it may be beneficial for us to really put one within the
Right.
park. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So that is them trying something new
Mhm.
to see if
Yeah.
people take to it, right?
Mhm.
So yeah,
And
try
that's
something.
being creative, thinking
Hmm.
outside the box. That's definitely thinking outside the box.
Right.
Yeah, why put a playground somewhere where kids aren't gonna be able to utilize it?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
You
see if they even want it, right?
Right, if
First.
they want it. Are they gonna go out and play? Because think about it, nowadays, a lot of kids be in the house playing their video games.
Right. Right.
They
Yeah.
don't wanna go
Yeah.
outside and play, except for the
Yeah.
little ones. Little ones always wanna go out, so
Right.
they
Right.
will not miss a beat for that.
Right. Right.
But
But
yeah,
again,
you
that's
Yep.
yeah, that's testing the thing, right? It
Mhm.
makes you think about you with your 24K
Oh,
gold
yes.
t-shirt, 24K polished.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Um, that's you have different logos for
Yeah.
your polished gems brand, right? You got
Mhm.
the 24K polish, right? But then you
Yep.
got the one with the logo that says polished gems, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
these are and you have more than that, but just saying that you're putting those out there and seeing like what really takes, what really sells. So you're
Mhm.
trying something by putting out more than one,
Right, right.
different styles and
Different
everything.
styles, yeah. Cause some
Yeah.
people like certain like, the styles, it might be something people, like, might wanna tone it down, tone it up, you just never know. But if you put
Uh-huh.
it out there, you won't know if they'll like it unless you put it out there.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yep.
gotta what they say, test the waters. You gotta see.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Even, I know we mentioned like, somebody owning a restaurant, like, hey man,
Mhm.
put something out that you normally wouldn't put on the menu,
Right. Yep.
and just call it limited time. And
Yeah.
then because I guess what? I bet you if that bad boy take off, it ain't gonna be limited time.
Right, right. Well, we brought it back.
Yeah, I bet you
Everybody
did.
loved it.
I bet I bet
Or we
you did.
decided to keep it, yeah. And that might
Yeah.
be like your star dish, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The people
Yeah.
restaurants will have, like, their main, when I was in Meadville, Pennsylvania,
Uh-huh.
and you could s they had their menu on the wall, but they had specific ones that
Yeah.
people go to that restaurant and eat all the time.
Right, right,
So,
right.
yeah, you just
Cool,
never know.
cool. That's it. That's it. So listen, I'm gonna touch on a couple more of these because we actually up against our time here. We won't be able to go into the next segment, but I got to touch on these two because I just kind of peeped at them and they look like they're good, Kim.
Yeah.
Okay. So this next point is face your fears. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a
and it's so
good
crazy. Now listen, I know that we spoke about this in previous episodes, but I do. I use ChatGPT. I speak to it, and I'm like, hey, I want this. I want to talk about. Give me these points, and it's so wild because it really, we say these things, and then we go to this next point or the few points down. It actually speaks to the thing that we just was saying
right,
off of our
right.
off the top of our minds anyway. So I
Mhm,
think that's pretty good, right? So
mhm.
again, this is face your fears. Example: If public speaking makes you nervous, challenge yourself to speak in front of a small group.
Mhm.
Okay. Again, I was talking about that's a fear of mine. That's a challenge of mine, doing public speaking. And this is letting me know or telling me
Mhm.
to, start off with small groups,
Right.
right? Even though I feel like a small group would probably be worse than a big group. Because it's like,
Actually, I don't think
ah,
it is. I
well, this
think
it.
it just depends on how small the group is.
Man, for me, I'm like, okay, I think if I get a small group, it's like I can see all five of these people just staring at me, and I can see their expressions when I say certain things, right? Versus if it's a crowd of people, I might more so be like, okay, they into it, okay, he into it. You know what I'm
Let me
saying?
say, if you're looking at the crowd, imagine them,
No,
with animal heads.
oh really? Is that
Yeah, if you
okay?
imagine them being with, like, animal heads, it can help, if you
That might scare me even more.
you know
Start seeing dude with a horse head. I'm like, oh god. No, I'm saying, nah. But yeah, those are just different things. Whatever it is, if you have a fear of something, maybe start off small,
Yeah.
right, and then grow from there. Okay.
Yes.
All right, and then the next point is learn through failure.
Mhm.
Okay. Every attempt won't be perfect, but the experience helps you grow.
Yep.
Share these moments with your audience, you know?
It's
So
okay to fail.
it is. And then too, just like it says, again, speaking of podcasts, it says share these experiences with your audience, right?
Mhm.
And it's so wild that that is the last point that we're going to be able to touch on today's episode of Quit for What, which we are at the end of right here. So we made it, Kim,
Yep.
right? But speaking about sharing your experiences, I know I was talking to you about when I started my LLC, right? When I got my
Mhm.
LLC in 2015, and this is my third studio that I've had over the years, and me doing a video sharing my experience of the ups and downs of that, right?
Mhm.
Showing people how much money I made throughout the years, right? Not to be, braggish, or not to, be a braggart or brag, but to show people like this is real. Like
Mhm.
I've I'm going through this currently,
Right.
like,
Right.
right? This is the ups and downs. This is the money I've made and money I didn't make, right?
Mhm.
These are times that I was in a negative. Like, all I want to show all of that just to show people, like, listen, this is real. I'm not
Mhm.
just on here talking about quit for what and this,
Right.
that, and the other. Like, I'm gonna do a video to show people my experience of persevering and pushing through.
Mhm.
Right. So
Right.
that's coming. That's coming. So
I knew, yeah, you said you're gonna come out with a few things.
oh yeah, it's a few things, right? But I take my time with the implementation of those
Right,
things.
right, right, right,
We,
right.
we don't rest nothing over here, right?
We already said you gotta be prepared.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
you're just
So
preparing yourself.
that's right. I got another comment here from LaRonda. She said, "If you don't face your fears, there is no progress. You don't reach your goals." I love it.
That's
I
true.
love it.
Yes,
That's
that is
right.
very true. If you don't try to face them, you don't try to conquer them. And
There's no
sometimes
progress.
and you could just, like I said before, take it one step at a time.
Yeah.
If it's too much, because sometimes it can be a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
But instead of just trying to jump in first, take your time. Okay, start with one thing, then you work on the next, then you keep going and build yourself up, you
Yeah.
know. And then before you know it, you're out there.
Yeah. Ease your way into the thing,
Yeah,
right?
ease your way into it. Yeah,
Right. But yeah, Rhonda said, if you don't face your fears, there's no progress. You don't reach
right.
your goals, right? So yeah, so that fear is holding you back. So
Yeah.
there's no progress. I don't know why, but this made me think about they say that ice baths are very beneficial for you, right?
Yeah, they do say
Yeah,
that,
they do say that,
but
and I
I'm
get
not
what's.
getting in it.
But see, hold on though, hold on. Let me get my point right. So they say ice baths are very beneficial, And
Mhm.
I actually believe that they are, right?
They are.
Um, yeah. So there's a guy, I want to say his name is like William Halford, something like that.
Mhm.
And this dude, he will go like to like Antarctica or something. Like, I don't know, just and cut a hole and get
Right. Right, right, right.
into the water or whatever, or run through the mountains, the snow covered mountains with his shirt off and some shorts on, right?
Mhm.
So something about building up a resistance to that cold or something, I
Yeah.
guess is beneficial for you, right? I'm not saying for anybody to just jump out there and do that,
Yeah.
but getting back to the ice baths, anytime, even if it's somebody who is used to taking ice baths, they ease their way
Mhm.
into it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Especially if you haven't done it before,
Mhm.
man, they really ease their way into it, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw a father and son do it.
Uh huh.
Where the dad was in the was in one tub and his son was in another, and his
Yeah.
son wanted to jump out and he was like, "No, son," but it actually was the dopest thing I seen, and
Yeah.
he was like, "No, son, you gotta stay. Come on, you got this, you got this." And the son eventually ended up jumping out. It was cold, but
Right.
he faced his fear and he went back and he sat in there. I mean, he did it like a champ, but I
Yeah.
think it encouraged him having his father there. And that's the
Yeah.
same thing for us. You know, when we want to face our fears or we're trying to conquer something, get you an accountability partner or somebody who can help push you along the way. Be
A
a support
coach.
system. Yeah, you got to
Hmm.
build that support system up. And sometimes just having that support system while you get in that cold water, and they be like, "No, you got this," and you be like, "Yeah, I got this, I got this," you know. But it
Right.
helps instead of you just doing it by yourself.
Right, right. And then too, it spoke about, being able to share the moments, right?
Mhm.
So going through that experience, now you can share that with somebody else who wants to go through that thing, and hasn't done it yet,
Yeah.
right? To help motivate, educate, and inspire them.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well,
Right.
Kim, we made it. We made it. That's it. You got anything else you want to share before we jump off?
No, I think that's it for today.
That's it. That's it. So listen, y'all. Again, this is different. But we did it. We made it happen. And I want to say thank you to everybody who jumped on. Thank you
Yes,
to
thank
everybody who
you.
commented. We greatly appreciate you. I'm going to even say thank you to the haters that was in the chat.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Guess what?
I
You
love
were
your
here.
haters.
You were here, right? You were here. If
Yep.
we guess what? If we wasn't doing nothing, you wouldn't be here,
Nope.
right? So what does that say? We are doing what we
What we
set out to
supposed to
do.
be doing,
That's it.
right.
So that's a good thing. So again, leading by example,
Mhm.
pushing through any obstacles, whatever it may be. Yeah, that's what we're here to do.
Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, listen, y'all. This has been great again. And I'm going to leave y'all with what I always leave y'all with. And that is to do what you got to do to make it happen. Don't give up. Quit for what? Until next time. Peace.
Peace.
All right. That's it, LaRonda. We haven't quit and we won't. No. We appreciate you. All right. See y'all soon. Peace.